Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadha Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Guru Deva Jaya, Deva Jaya, Guru Jaya, Guru Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Vishnupada Brahmanswari Brajikacharya Ashtatar Shatasi Simat Sulabai Chandra Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupada Brahmanswari Brajikacharya Ashtatar Shatasi Simat Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantagari Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Vedas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथ धाम की जय, गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की जय, भक्ति देव की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि कृष्णा. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled Zoom devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri and Gaura. Namo Vishnu Deveshwar. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So let's start a journey of offering our flowers, our heart to our Guru and Guru Parampara, headed by Srila Prabhupada, all the way to the divine couple, Shri Radha Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Can you transfer yourself? Yes, you can. In spiritual body, with devotion, with bhakti. So let's begin with that. Collect beautiful fragrant flower and offer it. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasam Gnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanita Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees and mothers and prabhus, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat.
Hare Krishna Guru.
Hare Krishna. So we'll begin from the leftover of chapter 15. Who would like to voluntarily read? Aditya Narayan Prabhu is probably busy. Medhavi Prabhu, you have time?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Where did we leave off?
We our last part of the sentence begins, paragraph begins with zeal and earnestness.
Okay.
Page 71.
Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Zeal and earnestness to avoid offenses to the holy name are very needful in the first stage, which can be done only by an avoidance of worldly minded men and keeping company with devotees. Incessant chanting of the holy name will, when the first flow has passed away, naturally increase a love for the name and kindness to jivas. In this, karma, jnana, and yoga have nothing to do. If their workings are strong, even then, they may help the devotee of the holy name in maintaining their livelihood. If Krishna's holy name is sung with a firm inclination, it will before long cleanse the heart and burn away avidya. When avidya vanishes, the brighter illumination of a true, unbiased abnegation and a sense of the relationship between Krishna and the jivas will appear in the heart. Numberless times has this been proved to be true among the wise. With a happy heart, one should recollect the meaning and form of the holy name and should pray to Krishna with a heart-rending lamentation. And this will draw the grace of Krishna, which will lead him onward in the path of bhajan. Or else births will pass in vain, like karmis and frustrated gyanis. Those who engage in bhajan may be divided into two distinct classes. Some bear only the burden. Others appreciate the real worth of things. Those who long for enjoyment or for self-destroying salvation and are attached to worldly affairs are only yoked to the heavy load of virtue, wealth, enjoyment, and salvation. They are unaware of the fact that prema is the best sap. So such load bearers fail to progress in bhajan in spite of their utmost strivings, whereas the essence seekers aiming at prema lata very soon reach the longed for ultimate. They are called prema rurukshu, those who earnestly strive for ascending up to the region of prema. They alone can, in a very short time, ascend up to the sphere of prema or easily become paramahamsas. Thus, when one who so long simply did bear burdens learns to love the truth in the company of sadhus, he also soon turns to longing for prema. When in previous births one has done good works, looking forward to devotion, this invigorates reverence and a strong desire for service to Godhead, which then turns into an appetite for devotion in the company of devotees. Both bhajan and true devotees awaken sadhana bhakti, which leads to the expectation of prema. If one adopts the process of sadhana as directed by true and pure devotees, he will before long almost turn mad for ascending the stage of prema where it can be tasted. But again, this prema will remain far in the background if he associates with half-true devotees and will not be able to exclusively devote himself to the service of Krishna. In this stage, 1, his strong love for the fleeting world, and 2, his identification of the soul with the material frame of flesh and blood and the subtle body of the mind. 3 is knowledge of things other than Krishna, and 4, his extreme servile attitude toward Maya do not allow him to regard and love true devotees. Crafty thoughts beguile his heart. In this way, the practitioners of devotion have to remain long confined to the preliminary rites of a devotee in the first stage. No doubt they have reliance and faith in Krishna, but it is so tender, fickle, and unsteady that they may at any moment be led away by the contradictory arguments of conflicting schools, and may accordingly come into the company of so-called preceptor and sadhus. In order to make steady their perturbed state of mind, they must learn by the process of deduction the path of Shruti from a true spiritual preceptor, the true process of worship. A firm faith in the holy name will be awakened in the heart after worshiping the deity in this way for a long time. Then at last they will have determination for nama bhajana in the company of devotees. The case is different with those few lucky ones who have an exclusively firm faith in Krishna's holy name. They take, by unbounded grace of Krishna, shelter at the feet of such a spiritual guide who is an ontologist of the holy name, that is, who has realized and does see the Sarup form of the holy name. Concerning the need for such a preceptor, Sri Mahaprabhu says that though formal initiation may not be necessary, still a guide is essential in Nama Bhajana. The mere letters of the holy name may be had at any place and from anybody, but the profound and unknown truth that is lurking behind those letters can only be exposed by the grace of a true preceptor who is purely devoted to Krishna.
Mm.
The grace of the spiritual guide alone can pass over from the earthly early twilight, from the 10 offenses hindering the true service of the holy name. Those who are devoted to the holy name have already from the beginning attained the stage of the second class of the Sarup form of the holy name. They are practically no longer bound to namabhas, utterance of the name avoiding the 10 offenses. Truly speaking, they earnestly desire prema. They are true prema rurukshus. It is their religion to have prema for Krishna. They make friendship with true Vaishnavas. They cast kind glances at and show compassion to tender and unsteady Vaishnavas, and they are indifferent to those who, being puffed up with false vanity of their erudition, are malicious and inimical to the devotees and Sri Murti of Bhagavan. Failing to distinguish right from wrong, the beginners who are confined to only the initial rites sometimes fall into deplorable conditions. The middle order of Vaishnavas who are earnestly anxious for prema behave differently from the three previous classes of Vaishnavas. Those who only carry the burden, those who maintain bad association, and those who strictly follow, and are soon blessed with prema, or ascend to the highest or superior order of Vaishnavas. It is best to associate with this middle order of Vaishnavas. These Prem Rurukshu devotees chant and tell their beads 3 lakhs, 3 times 64 rounds in every 24 hours. And they find such happiness in the holy name that they cannot spare a moment without him. Then, when no time can be kept in sleep, etc., they become incessant in their bhajan. Repeated remembrance of the meaning of the holy name, as explained by Sri Gopal Guru Goswami, will, by degrees, drive out all contamination from the nature of the devotee. Then the holy name will appear in person before the spiritual eyes of the devotee. When the Sarup form of the holy name fully appears, it is identical with the spiritual form of Krishna. The appearance of the Sarup of the holy name is the appearance of the Sarup of Krishna. The more clearly and purely the holy name is visible, the more bhajan proceeds in the presence of his Sarup. The more do the 3 elements of which primordial matter is said to be composed, namely sattva, the strand of goodness, rajas, the strand of activity, and tamas, the gloom of pride, haughtiness, etc., of the lowest inherent principle, disappear, and there appear the spiritual attributes of Krishna in the heart of the devotee. Then again, when there is a happy union of the name, form, and attributes of Krishna, and devotees in their bhajan see them, the Leela pastimes of Krishna is awakened by the grace of Krishna in their pure heart. As soon as they are absorbed in deep and easy natural meditation, the holy name then dances incessantly on their tongue. The form of Krishna is visible to their soul's eye. All the attributes of Krishna are observed in their heart, and the bud of Leela blooms in their soul while they are buried in meditation. In this stage, 5 conditions of the practicing devotee are to be noticed: Shravana dasa, Varana dasa, Smarana dasa, Apana dasa, Prapana dasa. The happy mood which the devotee feels at the time of listening to the object of pursuit and the means of hearing from the lips of a true spiritual preceptor may be called Shravana dasa. In this stage, every bit of knowledge about how to chant the holy name without committing any offense to him, and of the process and fitness of chanting the holy name is gained. This facilitates the continuity of the holy name. When fit to receive it, the strung together beads of Nama Prema can be had from Sri Guru Dev, that is, the disciple with every delight, and from the deepest recesses of his heart, cordially welcomes the boon of surrendering himself to the feet of Sri Guru for pure and unalloyed bhajan, and receives invigorating strength and faculty from him. This is Varanadasa, the choice of Sri Guru for bhajan by the acceptance of the holy name and strength from him. Remembrance, contemplation, concentration, constant meditation, and trance, final beatitude, are the 5 processes of smarna. From remembrance of the holy name, the devotee thinks of the form which gives him a steady conception of the attributes. This steady conception of the attributes gives him a firm conviction of pursuing the Leela of Krishna. And having entrance in the Leela, he is completely absorbed in Krishna Rasa. This is Apanadasa. By these stages of Smarna and Apana, the devotee can know and adore the eternal and daily Leela of Krishna in 8 different periods of the day. And when he is deeply absorbed in it, he realizes his own self and that of Krishna. These self-realized devotees are Paramahamsas. Then, at the time of his departure from this world, the devotee, by the grace of Krishna, becomes an associated counterpart of ideal object of his worship in Vraja, and thus attains the summum bonum of Nama Bhajana. When should all who are seekers after prema leave the stage of a householder and accept sannyas, or the 4th stage? The answer is that, be he in busti, society, or solitude, in palace or bower, be he in the stage of a grihasta or a vanaprastha or sannyasi, in whatever stage he may be in, the prema rurukshu should prefer to live in that stage only which will be favorable to the attainment of prema, and should at once desert the stage that is a burden or antagonistic to his bhajan. In this connection, the lives of Sri Bas Pandit, Sri Pundarik Vijayanida Didi, Sri Marmananda, and other personal attendants of Krishna are worth recollection. They are all born Paramahamsas. Ribu, Janaka, etc. in the days of yore are seen to be Paramahamsas, even though they led the lives of householders. While on the contrary, finding householder life to be detrimental and a bar to bhajan, Sri Ramanuja Swami, Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Madhavendra Puri Goswami, Sri Haridas Thakur, Sri Sanatana Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami all renounced the stage of a householder and accepted sannyas.
Prabhuji, Hold on there.
Okay.
You just read, these are good example we can relate. We should be aware of their lifestyle so we can relate where we are and where we are heading and what we're going to get. Now, I have a question to the audience, including you, Madhavi Prabhu. If, no, say a billionaire, not millionaire, billionaire who has only child, 2 years old, he's explaining this 2 years old child that when you grow up, you will have no problem, you will enjoy life like anything. And he explained that how he worked so hard and he became billionaire, and this boy just have to stay alive and keep lead your life very healthy, happy, and for his pleasure, the father is keeping or going to give him $2 billion. Now tell me how much this child understood from his father. And at the end, he said, do you have any question? He said, yes. How many candies can I buy with $2 billion? What did you understand from this example? What do you think about his life enjoyment is?
Krishna Prabhu. I think he doesn't understand, the child doesn't understand the value of this money. That's why at this stage it's useless explaining him like.
Very good. Something more?
And he is looking for trivial enjoyments and not understanding that how much he can really enjoy.
Very good. Very good. You are all are thoughtful. He doesn't, yes, he does not understand what the life actually enjoyment is. His life right now is all about candies. More candy he can get, better he is off. This ultimate goal of Krishna consciousness is so attractive, is beyond our conception of anything in this material world that we enjoyed, whether sex, movie, food, best car, Lamborghini, whatever experience you have, you cannot compare. It's just like a 2 years old child. What is this Krishna Prem really going to give us experience? But still, Prabhupada say, when Prabhupada was asked about nectar of devotion, that we don't understand exactly this about bhakti rasa, the transcendental mellow of love. Prabhupada said, keep on reading. After 5 times this Prabhu, he asked again Prabhupada, he said, I'm still not grasping, like it's like seems like a very difficult. Prabhupada said, you have to pray and keep on reading. Keep on going, because it is not easy to grasp just like this. But then again, Prabhupada says, without understanding this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, nobody will know really what Krishna consciousness is. So this Harinam Chintamani concluding, it's like $1 billion check to a 2 years old child. He doesn't know what really enjoyment is as a grown-up man because he's 2 years. That's why his question is, I can have how many candies every day? Wow. That's all his calculation is. I sent something in the chat. I mean, not in the chat, sorry, in the WhatsApp group. And if you look at it, just point yourself where this person in the middle. Can you see a devotee in the middle? You can see Arunanayana Prabhu is in the between the 2 rivers, 2 opposite current. I don't know if you ever saw any place where two opposite current. One
Yes, sir.
current is inner current. Inner current is devotional service. As a soul, his ultimate happiness. Krishna really is not billionaire, multi-billionaire or unlimitedly billionaire, is going to give us this unlimited ocean of happiness. But I cannot be convinced. Why? Because I'm 2 years old. I only think as long my pockets are filled with candies, $1 billion or no $1 billion is the same. As long as my pocket is filled with candies. He cannot imagine that he can open thousands of factory of candies if he need to with $1 billion. He cannot imagine right now. He just thinks like as long my pockets are filled with candies, I'm happy. So this is the other side of the current. Can you look at in the WhatsApp that everybody has this, right? You see a little face of a devotee who is indecisive, cannot decide. So what is the opposite current? One current is, if I have a longer life, like another 1,000 years, I don't mean to be rude to any of you, but if you all have a guarantee right now today that you will have a macho, how do you say in English, like a healthy body, young body, most handsome, most beautiful girl, and you live for another 100,000 years. But next 1 month, you have to be like chanting. We're going to do a good seminar on the Harinama Chintamani, or you can do after 99,000 years also. It's up to you. How many is participant today? 16. Honestly, how many would be here? If you had choice of living 100,000 years, and you don't have to be serious on the Harinam Chintamani, and you will not be killed. You will not be, and you will have an unlimited sense enjoyment. I hope I'm not attacking you, but I have a doubt 16 participants will be here. I will be thinking too, 100,000 years, what is the rush to go back home? At least we can enjoy the 99,000 or 99,900, and last 100 years, maybe you will become serious. Honestly, you may not agree with me right now because you don't see it. You see you getting old. But if we really had this Satya Yuga mentality, they had 100,000 years, you would think like, yeah, we will become serious. Since there is no death until 100,000 years, we will become serious the last 100 years. Or last 1,000 years at least. I'm glad Krishna made our lifespan very short, so we can be at least focusing on this. This opposite current is where the sense enjoyment and ultimate, even though we don't understand, but the ultimate happiness of Krishna, inner current and outer current, are meeting point. You understand the meeting point? The two opposite current meeting point is where the liberation will take you. You will feel happy. You will not have material suffering. I mean, I do feel, I don't mean to brag around. I feel like I don't have material suffering. I don't have material desire. So what is the problem? No problem. But problem is, this is not a stable place. And a lot of you will come to this point in your life. I'm sure you're already probably there, or you're coming to that point, that material misery does not affect you. But this is not a stable place. Please try to understand. This is where Lord Shiva resides. It's called Kailash Dham. It is outside the material world, but outside the spiritual world also. Everybody understanding? It is not in the material world. It is not in the spiritual world. It's outside both worlds. And this is the biggest struggle in the devotee's life. I don't want you to judge, but a lot of sannyasi even falls down because they reach to that stage in their level of consciousness purification. But determination is weakening due to offenses or whatever, some unfulfilled desire that never came, all of a sudden came, they did not know how to purify or whatever reason, they fall back. And this will come to each of us. You are not exception. Everybody will go through this. The route is same route. Everybody will. Question is, how can you go forward instead of hanging around? Well, I don't know, maybe a few more years. I don't have to be so serious. There is a fear in you. Maybe you are experiencing or you will experience when you become serious. Will I lose like material connection? Will I lose, like how will take care of the family? How will take care of the children? Prabhuji's, these examples are given. Srivas Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself is an example. He had 10 children. Do you know how to raise 10 children? I hope you know. 10 children he raised. And there each one of them are scholars, genius. And he had a full-time job in the court as a magistrate. And if you recall his daily life, maybe you will rethink, this is too much, Prabhu, I don't know if we can take it. He would go to sleep at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., get up at 10:30, 10 to 10:30. Some places says 10, some place 2 hours. And then he would translate and go all the way till 4 o'clock, whole night. And 4 o'clock, he would start chanting, take a little nap for a short time, then get up and bathe, have a breakfast. The horse carriage is ready to go to the court. And he would spend till 1 o'clock. And he would decide. He was so focused and clear. Why? Because his bhajan was so strong. His bhajan was so strong. He did not lose any material, but he gained spiritual. You all have a children, familial. You should not worry. Please take my word. I'm nobody. I'm a wretched soul, but I'm trying to come to become a good servant of a devotee. Have a strong faith. Materially, you will never lose anything if you give more time and sincerity in spiritual life. Because that is a fear with many devotees. That's why they cannot become serious. It is just the opposite. That if you surrender, your problem will be taken care. But they think surrender means I will be lazy, I will have no money or no facility. This is not what surrender means. A misunderstanding surrender means. There has to be proper explanation what surrender is. Srivas Thakur, Prabhu just read Srivas Thakur. Who is Srivas Thakur? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Srivas Thakur was crying. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Srivas Thakur, why are you crying? He said, I missed you. You took sannyas and you left. He said, good. If you are missing, then give up your wife, take sannyas and come and live with me. Srivas Thakur says, my wife reminds me of you and Krishna more than I can remember on my own. How can I ever do this? This will harm myself. For my own sake, I have to take care of my wife and stay with her. Mahaprabhu says, I'm testing. This is in Bhakta Lok book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Give that discussion. I'm just giving you some sense. So it is not a grihastha or sannyas. It is an inner journey. It is not outer journey. Outer journey, you adjust dress, whether you're a woman or man or a old or a young, it really does not matter. It's a matter of inner journey, how you want to take it. This is really very high topics. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also put a beautiful verse from a Purana, very nice. It says that yes, tasmin sandham tritiya sapna sthanam. Please remember this verse. I'll find that verse and put it in the WhatsApp. This is in Gauriya Kantahar. You will find that verse. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur used to quote this. Tasmin sandham tritiya sapna sthanam. Where are you right now? You are in a dream place. If you are awake, you will be in spiritual world, pure goodness. And if you are gross sense enjoyer, you would not be in the class today. Because those who are gross sense enjoyer, they are not interested in Krishna consciousness. So you are in the dream, that middle space that I send you that picture. It's very important to focus on that. That one side is Krishna world, one side is Maya world. Krishna will never make decision. Please remember this. Krishna will never make decision for you. I hope everybody understood this. Krishna will never make decision for you. Just like you cannot force a girl to love you at gunpoint. Say, you love me or I'll kill you. The example I mentioned that Prabhupada gave that on a morning walk. Why? Because love is a free choice. Everybody understood? Love is a free choice. Krishna will never make choice for you. You have to choose to come back and love him and stay with him, or you want to play with on your own. Hey, we don't like this body. Let's get it rid of. Get a ghost body. Okay, kill myself, suicide. Get a ghost body. Oh, we got tired, too much torture. Let's get a donkey body. Okay, you think of donkey and you become a donkey. You play. We are playing this for millions and millions of lives. Try to understand, this is reality, Prabhu. You make your decision. I'm trying to scare you, but I don't think you get scared because I'm not good at it. You really have to make your own decision. But one thing I assure you, I come from a family life also. Do not ever underestimate that your material existence will be hampered if you become serious in spiritual life. It's just the opposite. More you become serious in spiritual life, your material life will be adjusted more harmoniously. Because ultimately, it is your happiness, it counts. If you are happy spiritually, it will not leave. Material happiness is flickering. Whether it's a sex or whatever, movie, it's temporary. 1 hour, 2 hour, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, movie is over, or whatever, food. You are still the same person. But spiritual happiness, if you can hooked in, you can live forever, wherever you are, whatever body you are, you will never be disturbed. We live by our own location of consciousness. So it is very important that we are product of our own decision, means you have to make decision. So by the end of today's class, I want everybody, each of you, you don't have to tell me, it is your own private life with Krishna. You make your decision, how serious you want to be, or you want to just hang around. When you are old, you'll be crying, time is too late and death has come. Okay, take birth again, it's no harm, come again. Then the devotee association will come again and you start. No guarantee that you will do better than this life. Because if you cannot become serious this life, what is the guarantee? Prabhupada says next life you will be more serious. It is very important. Srivas Thakur did not care whether sannyas or grihastha. He cared for association. His wife was giving that nourishment of spiritual world. So if you have a situation where you can actually be more Krishna conscious, Prabhupada even says in 7th canto, 15th chapter, I believe, 1 purport, that if you feel more happy with the whole family members, everyone, you become serious. Don't just hang around with the family member. Then When you become serious, you can take the whole family with you to Golok Vrindavan. Not that everybody will die same time. I don't mean that. But Prabhupada gave a very clue. So if you have an affection that where you can become more serious, stay where you are. Sthane stita srutigatam tanuba manubi. Sthane stita. Mahaprabhu told this, Ramananda Rai told this to Mahaprabhu. And Prabhupada ended Bhagavatam introduction on that verse. Why? I thought about it. Why Prabhupada ended there? He said, wherever you are, whatever ashram, whatever you are, don't be artificial. Be genuine. If you feel you have an attraction to material things, it's fine. Just live there, but try to proceed simultaneously spiritually. Stay wherever you feel comfortable, you can practice better. That's all my point was. So these examples that Prabhu read, these are so good examples. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he was smoking hookah. Someone put it in his biography. Ramananda Rai, he was intermingling with all those girls. Prabhupada even asked that question to Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, that Rupa Goswami Pad is the emblem of renunciation. And Ramananda Rai is also same advance as Rupa Goswami, but he was married and he had a family and everything. Which one is better? And Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, I'm paraphrasing, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says very nicely, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj's book has that just like a wife, chaste wife, when husband at home, she dress herself so beautiful to attract husband's attention and serve him. But when husband is not at home, she become like a renounce, not so well dressed, because her beauty is not for others, it's for husband. So our attitude has to be like that. What I can do to attract Krishna in this situation where I am today. That should be the goal. That's all. Okay, someone else can read who did not read. Mother Sonali, Basu, if she is available, she can read also. Maybe she's not there. Okay, because Prabhu, it seems like you are ready.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Go ahead.
Krishna's loving beauty is so enamoring that even the god of lust is charmed by him, and Krishna himself, being charmed by his own beauty and loveliness, covets the pleasure enjoyed by the best of his lovers. Sri Radha, by lovingly serving such a form as his, so anointing himself with the lustre and complexion of Sri Radha, and having been imbued with her ardent longings of love, Krishna is ever dallying as an exemplary lover of himself as Sri Gaurang. Sri Krishna, the essential nature of the Supreme Being, the only real and eternal truth, is the object of love, and Sri Gaurang, the possessor and distributor of that love. Krishna is simultaneously dallying with his dear consort in the groves of Vrindavan and tasting the extract of love suckers flowing from his consort as Gaurang at Navadvip himself, singing Krishna's name and teaching others how to love Krishna and sing his name. In so doing, he distinguishes pointedly the real name, identical with the object himself, from the apparent or false one which is taken profanely, blasphemously, or in vain. He emphasizes that in this Kali Yuga, worldly people indulge in duplicity, intoxication, sensuality, killing of animals, mercenaries, and so are unable to meditate upon worship Vishnu and perform Vedic sacrifices. So,
Once again, Prabhu, what is duplicity means? Can somebody explain what is duplicity?
saying something, meaning something, or thinking something. So, having two faces.
Mhm. Can you live your life, Live, living without pretending? I'm a serious devotee. Oh wow, nice tilak, nice dhoti, pakka, chanting. You don't need to show for anybody. It is Krishna's pleasure. We have to have a living without pretending. Speaking, whenever you speak with another devotee, without offending, please. These are like, I'm just giving you something that helps me. I see myself 5 years, 10 years before, 15 years before, how progression took place. I'm not saying that I'm advanced or anything. I'm not. Actually, I'm not advanced. But I'm very happy the progression, actually, this process that recommended here, it works. 100% works if we follow. So from my own experience, I'm saying, make your living without pretending. If I have a wretched condition, be honest to other devotees. Then you will be uplifted. Listening without defending. Because Prabhu is telling me some story, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, I know about that story. Why do I have to say that? Why mind can do, but why do I allow mind to intervene and put him down? I didn't tell him, but in my mind, it's going. You ever been in the class? That speaker is speaking something, you think, oh, I already know that. It's like, why? This is called, we are listening, but we are also defending. Just like this person, as soon as I mention something about God, he says, we believe in Jesus. I said, this is like a funny. He's trying to defend himself immediately. He's not interested about God. When somebody tells us something, just like this person said, I don't believe in anything. Should we defend ourselves? No, we don't need to defend. We can listen without defending. Hearing without defending is necessary. Why? Now he doesn't believe anything. Why? Because he's in a dark, in a full moon. Full moon takes place from the dark moon or new moon. In America, they call new moon to the full moon. You follow? 16. It's called Sulakala. Sulakala is Krishna. But Sulakala also has the other side. You ever have a lamp? Underneath the lamp, there is a darkest spot nobody ever see. This person is also belongs to God, but he's in the dark spot. So he said he doesn't believe anything about God. We don't have to defend. We have to recognize that he is also seeing God, but in a wrong way. Because he's in a dark spot, he cannot see the God. It is our responsibility to wake him up and pull him out of darkness. For an example, just like this professor, he says, well, how about if I don't believe anything, you say? I say, good. Where is this doubt coming from? So what do you mean doubt coming from? I said, you have a doubt. Doubt cannot exist without doubter. Who is the doubter? So what do you mean doubter? I said, are you a doubter? Otherwise, doubt is not a material things. Doubt is a sign of a conscious being. If you are not a doubter, doubt would not exist. So anyway, after some time discussion, he said, my God, I have to accept that I eternally exist. I'm going to buy your book. I said, no, I'm going to charge you double now because you allow me to spend too much time to sell one book. I was not selling him book, just a joke. Anyway, he gave a good donation. He took some books and temple got, this way we promote here in Alachua. So point is that whenever you meet somebody, when you speak, always remember, speaking without offending. Do not say anything that will make that person go away from Krishna. Krishna will never like it. Prabhupada will never like it. I have 100 quote of Prabhupada that I try to memorize. One quote Prabhupada says, when one is able to give the truth to someone in such a manner that he will respond positively. So whose responsibility is? The speaker. if your behavior, if my behavior, if my discussion turn a person away from Krishna, am I advancing or am I depriving those people from Krishna? Krishna will never become happy. These are simple things you have to remember. The speaking without offending, hearing without defending. We don't need to defend. Krishna is with us in our heart. This man says he does not believe because he does not see that Krishna, same Krishna in his heart. He is not less than me. It's just that his eyes is covered. So you have to open the lid, or you have to, that compassion nature has to develop. This is important. Okay. So duplicitous means living without pretending. Whatever I am, I don't understand something, I don't understand. See Prabhupada, he said, when I used to hear my Guru Maharaj's lecture, most of the time I didn't even understand what he's speaking. But I had interest to hear, and my Guru Maharaj noticed that. So when the suggestion came, this Abhay Babu, Prabhupada's name was Abhay Charan, Abhay Babu, he wants to take initiation. He said, my Guru Maharaj says, yes, he's very attentive to hear. I'll give him initiation. Prabhupada said just like that. So we don't have to be pretending. Prabhupada was not pretending that he's a genius. Prabhupada said, I could not even understand sometimes what he's speaking. It is over my head, but I was attentive. So we should always have a living without pretending. And people will be attracted to Krishna through us. How Mahaprabhu going to preach? Through us. And it's going on here, all over the world. So be exemplary. That will draw attention of Mahaprabhu. You'll get the mercy very quick. Okay, because Prabhu, please go ahead.
He distinguishes pointedly the real name. Am I on the right one, Prabhu?
We're talking about the duplicity, so is after that, yes.
So, yeah, so sing himself Krishna's name.
You can read the same again. He emphasizes that in this Kali Yuga, worldly people indulges in.
Yeah, he emphasizes that in this Kali Yuga, worldly people indulge in duplicity, intoxication, sensuality, killing of animals, mercenaries, and so are unable to meditate upon or worship Vishnu and perform Vedic sacrifices. So the chanting of Krishna's name is the only meditation, the only sacrifice, the only worship in this Kali age. The name is the means, the name is the end. But it should be noted with the utmost care that Krishna's name is not a mere combination of letters or utterance. An appearance is not identity. The fire and the glow worm, though similar in appearance, are not identical. The minutest spark of fire, set consciously or unconsciously, seriously or playfully, will instantaneously burn an inflammable thing, whereas a thousand glow worm will not be able to do that, even in 1,000 years. Krishna's name is identical with Krishna himself. And
One second, Prabhu. Everybody understand what is glowworm? They look like they have some lights, but it's just to attract the opposite sex. It has nothing to do with the light. I mean, in the darkness, there was a lot of glowworm. I could not see the road or anything. They don't produce any light. They produce some light just to attract the opposite sex. That's all. So that's why these examples are given. Okay.
even in 1,000 years, Krishna's name is identical with Krishna himself and pregnant with all the properties and attributes of Krishna. So his name, unlike all other names, is full of energy, perfect, eternal, pure, devoid of illusion, and eternally free. The aura.
How about, Prabhu, one second. How about each of us? Let's chant one time Hare Krishna full Mahamantra and tell me what is your experience or understanding. Because Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when you say Hare Krishna, You have to see that Krishna actually descending from Golok Vrindavan on your tongue and he's dancing. Can you just chant like this? Hanumanji chant like this. It is not imagination, this is real, but it appears like imagination. Let's do it one time, everybody. Chant in yourself and see if Krishna and Radharani or Mahaprabhu is dancing. It's better to you focus on Mahaprabhu dancing on your tongue. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
I hope you saw Mahaprabhu is sitting on your tongue and dancing or sitting there and chanting. This is not some hallucination. This is reality. Hanumanji chants from his mouth, Sitaram's manifesting every moment. Whatever we read in Harinama Chintamani, you're going to apply. Please. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu.
The aurora of sunrise is sufficient to dispel the darkness of night and to drive the wild animals to their lairs and thieves and dacoits to their resorts. It enables us to distinguish the various objects of senses and ushers the advent of the glowing lamp of heaven. Sunamabhas stops poverty from planting our pillows with thorns, destroys our worldly hankerings, and dispels our illusion, gloom, so that we may see the name face to face. When the ever burning sun peeps out of the eastern horizon, its ever effulgent rays makes us see it face to face, feel its golden rays, and enable us to see all objects bathed therein. The sun is seen and felt by us with its own rays and heat, and not by the help of any other glowing object. The brightest candles of the universe put together cannot make the sun visible to us. When our dreamy nights are at an end, when we shake off our torpor, open our eyes, and rum them to the east, we see the sun of the holy name with all his glory and beauty.
Beautiful. Thank you. So we are preparing for next Monday and Wednesday, and everybody got assignment, right? Particular, and I hope you're prepared. Any question, comments, reflection?
You are saying that if spiritually we are very fixed, materially you will not lose anything. So could you just highlight a little bit? Because my understanding till now, could be incorrect, is that the more you start progressing spiritually, you are going to get detached from materially and you are going to lose interest in the material things. And also I've seen like many learned people in ISKCON, several of them, many of them who have become serious also maybe left their big affluent jobs and became full-time preachers in ISKCON and kind of thing. They lost their interest in material entanglement. So I'm trying to understand this statement, what you said. And I was also puzzled to understand how Bhaktivinoda Thakur was just able to sleep only for 2 hours and still manage his such a huge responsibility. How to understand this, Prabhu, that what you said of we will not lose anything materially if we still hold to spirituality strongly?
Well, to be honestly, we should not focus anything to get rid of. If you have a room full of darkness, you try to take the darkness with buckets, thousands of buckets. I don't think you will ever make it empty of darkness.
Yes.
But if you switch on the light, darkness disappears. So our main focus should be on spiritual growth, not on negation or developing detachment. These things are byproduct. It will happen in a way that it won't disturb you. But if somebody try to actually pretending to be detached and fear of like a one Prabhu, I tell you, he's a very scholar. I won't say the name because I respect him. He passed away. He's very scholar, Western Bari. He was so afraid of the Matajis in LA, Los Angeles. I know him because I love his translation. He's the American Western Bari, but he translates from Sanskrit to English so good. I mean, unbelievable. He learned so quick and did so much. Out of fear of Matajis on the stairs, he would climb down from the outside pipe down. And one time he fell off. And that's how another devotee saw him and said, why are you coming down? This is not anybody. It's all because there's so many Matajis in the front. These things are artificial. It is not genuine renunciation. If we have an inner connection genuinely, then direction of our emotion will change. Direction of our emotion will determine whether you are a sense enjoyer or you are artificially renouncer or you are actually having devotional quality. And this is very important. Our goal is not to renounce the world or enjoy the world. Our goal is to utilize the world. This is Krishna's world. We should utilize, not renouncing or enjoying. So this is very important. This is a very nice, you can look at a sloka in 11th canto Bhagavatam, I believe 11.2.48. The verse goes, I remember it helped me a lot because I have to write a thesis why sannyas is important and why am I taking sannyas. And you have to write many pages. They want to see it. It's compulsory for anybody to take sannyas. So this is one of the verse I was focusing also. Grihitta opi indriyer arthan jo no desti na rishyati Vishnur mayam idam pashyan savai bhagavata uttama. We are seeing Maya and Prabhupada also saw Maya. What is the difference? I was focusing on that. How did Prabhupada see the world? He was married. He had so many Western disciples, so beautiful, attractive. Even some devotee asked him, Prabhupada, you don't feel any attraction? These some Matajis are so beautiful. You know, what's her name? Mandakini Mata. She is a French lady, a French Mataji, very sweet. So I had a talk with her, and she was actually in a movie, movie actress one time. But she joined. See how much dedicated she is. Prabhupada, she always thought, I want to please Prabhupada. So in London, Prabhupada was sitting. He came, arrived, and Prabhupada just went first time to Russia. And out of fear, you probably heard that the professor who invited him, they shut down the college or university, I forgot which one it was, and there is no program for Prabhupada and Shyam Sundar Prabhu. So these two, they did not have any program. They stayed in a place, hotel for a temporary 7 days. And when Shyam Sundar Prabhu went to buy some milk from a corner store, and one guy came, he said, oh, you look very strange. You're like a sage from India. He said, no, I'm American. Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he has a Caucasian body. He said, but I have an Indian saint. He's here. He said, really? Okay. He speaks English. And he is one of the main. Prabhupada gave only initiation to 2 Russian. And 2 Russian today, 200,000, 250,000 Russian are devoted because of these 2 dedication. So that Prabhu, when he came, so my point is, he asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada asked him, what do you want to do? He said, it's very scary with the KGB, but I want to probably get married and just live a simple so nobody knows, but I want to give my complete whole life for preaching. but I cannot just go as a monk, then they will doubt, KGB will doubt. So this Mataji Prabhupada met in London, I'm paraphrasing the whole story, and then Prabhupada says, so I want you to do something. Said, yes, Prabhupada. Can you imagine? She's such a beautiful lady from Paris. Said, I want you to marry someone, go and marry him and stay with him and preach. And she said, okay, ready for next flight. I'm asking any Mataji in India would do that when your guru tell you. You never met the guy, you have no idea who he is. This kind of dedication. She did not doubt. And I see now her, she's so dedicated, so, I mean, I feel like touching her feet always, because did not even doubt on Prabhupada's word. So what my point was that in that verse, what I understood, I was talking with her actually in that verse also, that at our core, we are conscious being. Always remember this. First point, not a Indian body or girl body or a boy body. I'm a conscious being. To be conscious means to have emotions. And these emotions cannot be wished away. Difference between attachment and aversion, renunciation and devotion is based on the direction of your emotions. This you have to examine yourself. With renunciation is meant to be a transition. You may say that how come you decided to take sannyas? Because I feel renunciation is meant to be a transition between aversion and devotion. This is not goal. Sannyas is not a goal. Or a grihastha is not a goal. These are functional identity. You remember I mentioned that before? This is not fundamental identity. So devotion, when emotions are invested in Krishna, Krishna is the stabilizer of material emotion and the stimulator of spiritual emotion. Please remember that. Krishna, the holy name, is the stabilizer. You know stabilizer? You have air condition, or I don't know, in India they used to have a stabilizer to run the air condition because it's fluctuate. Krishna is the stabilizer of material emotions. And he's also stimulator of spiritual emotions. But you have to depend on Krishna. What will be the result? You may say, oh, if I do that, Prabhu, what will happen? You will have unlimited returns, not just in quantity, but eternally also. Eternity. In quantity with eternity. You will have a new feeling, flavor. If you say, do you feel? If I tell you yes or no, will you believe it? And if you believe it, yes, I do. So you will have a new feeling, and this new taste will increase, new fulfillment. Everlasting, ever increasing is the return of investing our emotion in Krishna, in chanting, in Harinama. And that is the purpose, and that is perfection of our life. And that is what we should aspire for always. Now you may say, well, difficulty is unavoidable. Yes. When difficulty situation come, you know, yesterday was very hot and today was so cold in Mangalarti. I still have a neck because it was so cold. Now I can keep on complaining or take advantage of that. When adversity comes, take advantage of it. Be more close to Krishna. These are actually created for us to come closer and we feel more happy. So when difficult situation comes in your life, we sometimes feel victimized, isn't? While the feelings of indignation are natural, sometimes inevitable. We need to use our intelligence to remember that those situations don't determine our consciousness. Of course, we cannot check the kind of emotion that the situation induces, but we can check how much we indulge in those emotions. Just as physical wounds take time to heal, I'm sure you all have experience. I'm sure you don't have a steel body or something. Even I get a little scratch here, there, you know. Sometimes it takes a long time to heal. Sometimes it does very quick. So just as physical wounds take time to heal, but they do heal in due course, isn't? I still have, you know, I was learning how to cook and I burned my hand. I don't know if you can see it. It's a big line from the pot. It's my stupidity.
Yeah, my class
because,
ends in 15 minutes. Okay.
because I didn't know how to grab the pot properly. So I burned my skin. And it was there for like 6 months, maybe almost a year now.
It's room 3, right?
Mother Kara, you have to unmute. I mean, you have to mute when you talk. Thank you. Sorry. I know she is in a precarious situation. Somebody is going to have a baby and she's like kind of a good. So if we keep dwelling on feelings of resentment and helplessness, we perpetuate and aggravate the emotional wounds. What happened? Then it's hurting ourselves far more than necessary. So what should we do? We need to take the conscious decision to redirect our thoughts towards something higher in our life. And this is what exactly Krishna consciousness offers us. Krishna consciousness offers us highest, most potent object for redirecting our thoughts. What is that? Towards Krishna, who is all attractive, supreme person. When we take the decision to focus on Krishna by diligent, practice of Bhakti Yoga, we experience inner shelter and strength by which we can become purified and elevated and ultimately liberated from our situations. This morning we are reading Draupadi's Vasraharan, how Krishna came, because today is the day where Draupadi was disrobed. But that's not the main focus. Focus was her devotion attracted Krishna come in a form of sari, unlimited saris. So those situation actually gives us a opportunity to come closer to Krishna. We should take advantage of it. I hope that helps you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'm trying to understand. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
So
Prabhu.
always remember, you have to manage. Main thing is you have to manage your emotion. We all are emotional. It is natural, nothing wrong. But you have to manage your emotion. How? Shift. Learn how to shift. Can you switch? Yes, you can. I could not. Some people think they cannot. That's not true. They have to be trained. Shift, focus from emotion to action. Please, I beg you, stop trying to control how you feel sometime. Start taking control of what you do. This is very important. Our emotion often interfere with our purposes. We may resolve to do something important, but may not feel like doing it. It ever happened to any of you? What should we do? Either we give in to it, that feeling, and stop doing it, or we resent and try to reject the feeling. That choice you make. But that seems impossible sometimes. So to be honestly, significantly, however we have a third option, we forget. I really want everybody to remember this. Third option is shifting your focus from emotion to your action. Nothing I can do at this moment. Take Japamala, chant. You will see mystical happen, miracle happens. Not that you do miracle, Krishna do in a form of holy name. So to understand that approach, you can compare many things. Just like I always give an example, because Florida is a state where weather you can never predict. You have a heavy rain, 2 hours, 3 hours, heavy rain. Okay, that's it, Prabhu. Probably for whole week we'll be under rain. And guess what? On 4th hour, it's bright sunshine. And that's Alachua. That's Florida. It's always very funny, strange. We never count anymore. Even if it is heavy cold, you never know. Probably after a few hours is a beautiful warm weather. This is Florida. New York is different. So just we cannot control the weather. So what do we do? I'm being honest to you. We cannot always control our emotion also. They often emerge from our inner weather, which is shaped by strong, subtle, natural forces. You know what they call? Modes. You never heard modes? You see a danger or uncomfortable discussion or a relationship, you feel like, it was very funny. This couple were arguing and they're speaking so loud. So this man happened to know me. He says, "Oh, Govind, I'm sorry, we're just having a little argument." I said, "Why are you speaking so loud? She is only 2 feet from you. You're speaking as if you are telling somebody who is about 1 mile far." Did you ever saw sometime couple argue or they talk so loud? You know why? Because the relationship is broken. What they expected, the normal relationship is broken. So they speak so loud, they think by speaking loud, it will come back to the original.
Anger creates distance.
Yes. So when we treat our emotions like weather, we should remember that we recognize just because we cannot control our emotion doesn't mean we have to be controlled by them. This is very important. We can still control our actions. Even if we don't feel enthusiastic, we can still start acting according to our purpose. So if we keep doing purpose-driven action, can you remember? Purpose-driven action. What will happen? Our emotion will gradually change. I practically use this in my life and it always works, never failed. That you keep on doing purpose-driven actions and your emotion will change, like the weather, from unfavorable to favorable. So purpose-driven action is very important. Become easier when we connect with a higher power, specifically the omnipotent Supreme Krishna. We can connect ourselves with him by practicing Bhakti Yoga steadily. And Bhakti Yoga practice by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These practical chanting, devotional activities, we can do even if we don't feel devotional. Isn't? Sometimes you don't feel like devotional, but you can still chant. What will happen? Can anybody tell me what happened when you don't feel like chanting, you still chant? What happened? It happened many times. That's why I'm telling you boldly. Yes, Kara.
You become invigorated in the chanting. You know, at first it is hard, but if you keep with it, eventually you will be very invigorated.
Yes,
Like,
very good.
nice.
This is practical. So do it. When you don't feel like chanting, you chant more. Just do it. You'll be surprised how everything changes. Okay, so we end here.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes,
Hare
Mother.
Krishna.
You can go first, Prabhu. I think Brahma.
Aditya Narayan Prabhu was first, and then Braja Prem Prabhu, and then Kara.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, my question is, we are reading one verse from Bhagavatam yesterday, and it is so relevant to our discussion, so I wanted to clarify. This is from 5th canto, first chapter, and this is a common theme that we see many places. And the verse basically says that, I'll just read it, that one is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. And this is for 5135. And then Prabhupada explains in the purport that even a Chandala who is untouchable is immediately freed from material bondage if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. So the question was asked in our discussion that, like one way, like it is an offense to actually think that the glories are actually emanation. So we have that faith that yes, this is true, but then practically, like even if someone is chanting Namabhas or saying Haram, then why can't we actually see it? See this, that he or she is getting free from that material bondage. So like, because we are not practically able to see it, it is actually creating, though we want to keep the faith, it is actually not strengthening the faith. And this question came up. So Prabhu, can you please enlighten? Thank you.
This is actually one chapter. I don't know which chapter you're doing. One chapter of Harinam Chintamani explains this. So I'm going to paraphrase what I understood. It is not that the holy name is not working, but the person who is chanting, where is that person's Namavas stage? Within Namavas, there is a different stages. If that person is thinking, I'm not worthy of anything, I'm a wretched soul, but I have a strong faith on the holy name. Oh Krishna, I'm not good person, but I want to serve you. With that mood, he chants. That time, that name destroys the miseries. Misery or pleasure is an experience. It's not an external. And that stage is so attractive that Krishna actually pays attention. If these two things, that I'm serving under Prabhupada's guidance, he's our eternal Shiksha Guru, I'm serving the holy name, even though I'm not a good devotee, I'm trying my best. My Lord, please allow me to serve you. With that mood, when somebody serves, Krishna really pays attention. And anybody criticize that devotee at that time, even if he does mistake or something, the criticizer will be punished. Not that haram somebody says, that is also one type of namabhas, but we are not talking about those 4 types of namabhas here. They all sound same. This is called Shraddha namabhas. Yeah. Vaikuntha nama grahanam. That verse is hella. These 4 types of Sankirta Parihashyam, Stovam, Helanam, Evoba, these 4 types of is different namabhas. But here, this one time uttering the name is called Shraddha namabhas. Because Shraddha namabhas will take you to next stage. The other namabhas does not take you. Shraddha namabhas means you have a faith, but you cannot perceive. You cannot have a strong feeling about it, or you cannot see it. With that intense mood, when somebody is crying and seeing that, yes, his experience of misery will disappear. It did not say misery will disappear, but his misery will disappear, means he will not experience. Just like Prabhupada got a finger cut and he quoted that verse, Karmani nidhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. That my head's supposed to be severed, but Krishna is so kind, he just gave me a little cut on my finger. Of course, Prabhupada is not a Namava stage, but still he quoted that way. That kind of feeling, the Shraddha Namavas, you will definitely experience no more pain. It's true. I mean, I'm not an advanced devotee, but I believe that and I see that it happened to us. We don't experience whatever the suffering is. Suffering will be there, but you will not perceive that pain. Material nature is material nature. We are not going to change. You cannot make the prison into paradise. The material nature will be still there, but it will not affect us. Na bindante bhava vedana. The material vedana or misery will not affect. That is true. So I hope that gives you some tips. And when we come to that devotee, I hope, I forgot which chapter it is, I have to look at it. And that devotee gives that clue about it.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I remember that chapter where we read about it.
Namavas doesn't mean just uttering the name. Because that's called Namakshara. Jyoti Korbe's Jagadananda Pandit, what is the first word of that line? He says, Namakshar Bahirai Bote Nam Kobu Nai. The Namakshara and Namavas, two different things. Just by saying Hare Krishna doesn't mean is a Shraddha Namavas. Shraddha Namavas means he has actually entered into the school. He didn't graduate yet. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, next one.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Next one was, who was next?
Myself.
Yes.
Yeah, Prabhuji Danut Pranam. I just want to ask related to this Namava, Shuddhanam and Namaprad. You gave one nice example in last class about gun. One gun was without bullets and one was with bullets. Shuddhanam, you said ki it is like having bullets in your gun. So can you just little bit explain that?
Bullets in the gun, but it's not focusing on the target. It's going outside the parameter. So the focus has to be there. When the focus is there, like a few things are required. Danya, Daya, Manada, Amanina. These four things required. Then the bullet will work to the target.
Danya, Daya?
Manadena, Amanina. These four things has to be there. Then bullet is going to hit.
Okay, bro.
Now you may say like when it will appear. It can appear in a minute, it can appear in a million life also. I don't know. It depends on each individual.
Yes, bro.
Thank you. Yes, Mother Kara.
So my question, I'm sorry, it deters from what we were talking about recently, but I was curious about what we were speaking about Shiva's abode. So where we are in between wanting to make decision, Krishna consciousness and following this, and then material desire. But when we become neutral and aren't experiencing the material miseries, this is we're actually in Shiva's abode. So I want to go back to that, Prabhu. And my question is most specifically, I guess I want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly. You're saying that when you get there to that place, that it's impermanent. So like for some time, we're kind of in a place where we're, not experiencing the miseries and it is easy to follow the four principles and we're undisturbed, and this lasts for some time, but when it starts to deteriorate, because of offenses or something like this? Will you explain a little more? I just want to grasp this experience in the best I can.
You know that in the WhatsApp, I sent that photo. I don't know. I wish I could
Yes,
show
I know the photo.
everybody.
I know
wish
the photo,
everybody could
Prabhu.
see. No,
I
but
know
you
the
can
photo.
you can put it in the picture.
No, I can't put it in the picture.
Okay, okay, that's fine as long you
But I
remember.
know the picture. I'm familiar with it. I know what you're speaking of. Because you use same picture, different time.
It's a one of the picture that I like a lot. I spend a lot of time to meditate how to make it, and this is what we found conclusion of this. So if you focus on that photo, then I'll say more things about it, because this is actually, you will face in your life that a lot of devotees are in that stage, limbo. Not, I mean like a limbo, like a, but it is sometimes like that. We feel like we are stuck. We feel like, well, I did that. Like a one Gurukuli boy told me, I said, why don't you increase your chanting if you don't have a strong faith? He said, I chanted 64 rounds. I said, 64 rounds of what? He said, what do you mean 64 rounds of what? I said, what did you chant? It's a holy name. I say, who is holy name? Whose holy name? Can you tell me what is the holy name represent? Prabhu, why are you asking all this? I say, I doubt you chanted 64 rounds. You counted the rounds, that's difference. When you chant, because what is the beginning of Harinama Chintamani, you remember? First 2 chapters? It's about the glory. You have to memorize who is the holy name. When you say the holy name, we should be fully aware what is this holy name. Otherwise, it is not going to happen. This is what biggest problem arises otherwise. And I think was the 12 or 13 points, at least that is what I counted. We should memorize those, who is the holy name. Then you will understand that you are approaching a person. If you're not aware who you are approaching, how do you know he's listening or not? So your question is that what is that meeting point where the material and spiritual, both inner current or outer current, a junction.
Yes.
Yes?
So the question is 3 parts. I kind of want to understand what the symptoms are of being in that place, which I grasped so far is that you just aren't acknowledging the miseries anymore, and like this, following the 4 principles is nice. So I want to understand like what the symptoms of being in that place are, and then because I understand what it takes to get there, but then also the symptoms of leaving that place, and then what the next place is after that. Like what is the direction you go from there if you go up, and I guess also if you go back down as well.
Okay. In that, well, first of all, who is in charge of that place? Everything is Krishna, but Krishna is not directly managing everything. Just like Krishna is managing the material world through the Maya, Krishna is managing that world directly through Shiva. Not Maya, not Yogamaya, not Mahamaya. It's Shiva directly in charge there, and he has 5 features there. So without going so much of details, just at least to the point that what is that, first of all, you have to be honest if I ask you a question.
No
Can
problem.
you see that, you can come to a point today, say, I don't care Krishna, I can live without Krishna. That mind, I can, no, don't be fanatic, don't be like devotional. Don't be devotional, be realistic. We have that, we do have that. Of course, intentionally we are saying, yes, we'll never think like that. But can we also go to the other side? Say, yes, there are, you know how many people, you are in New Orleans, right? You know how many people in New Orleans actually think that they can live without God? Do you believe that?
At the temple or
No. I mean, New Orleans, temple is just a little building.
it's the city of sin. So many people don't think about God.
Dada, you're talking like a Hare Krishna devotee. Be like a neutral. If I take you on the road, just couple road down and ask people, can you live without God? They will agree, yes.
Yes, they will agree.
Yeah, I saw it. So this idea, Pritok Obhiman, write it down. I don't know, in English you can say Pritok Obhiman, a separate existence away from God. This is invaded in consciousness. Mitta Ahankar. Who are you? I'm for myself. Or can you be my servant? No, I'm not servant of anybody. People think in this world, why they work hard? For me. What do you do with all the money? For my enjoyment. This is called Mitta Ahankar. These 5 things is the outer current. Pritok Obhiman is a big deal. Pritok Obhiman, and if you want to know more, you have to get one Brahma Samhita book. It's also in our database, Brahma Samhita. Text 16. That verse has very nice explanation of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So that this Shambhu conception, that when the desire to lord it over Maya, forgetting their real identity. I ask myself, can I be the president of America? Why not? Hare Baba, you are servant of Krishna. How is possible you think to be president of America? Because this exists within me. Both are there. We have to be honest. If we are not acknowledging, we cannot purify it. You follow? We have to see that, yes, I can enjoy. I feel like I can enjoy without Krishna, but I don't want to. That is difference. It is intentional. But this Pritok Obhiman, Mitta Ahankar, Kala Swarup, everybody is running by the time. I'm going to do this. Next year, I'm going to get married. 2 years from now, I'll have a big house on the beach. 5 years from now, I'll have a bank balance of $1 million. We plan like this. This is called Kala Swarup. Kala means time. We figuring out, I'll go to America next year. Then 2 years after that, I'll become a millionaire. And from America, I'll send a letter to my brother. I'm already millionaire. All this dreaming. Kala Swarup. Pritok Obhiman. Pritok Obhiman means I can live without God. Even in India, people can think. They do think. Otherwise, they would be all surrender soul. All over the world, people think like this. They can live without God. It is there in the consciousness. And Mitta Ahankar means I am for myself. To be honestly, in this world, everybody, why there is a divorce? Why there is a divorce? Because they want to live for themselves. It's a common understanding. As long as my senses is not enjoyed by you, you are out. Game is over. It's the same idea, conception. Pritok Obhiman, Kala Swarup, Mitta Ahankar, these things you cannot avoid. You can never avoid until you become pure devotee. This is very important. In Madhya-lila, chapter 20.273, you can also read. Please, I suggest you that Madhya-lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila 20.273. It also gives you another concept of Shiva. It's called Vishesh Abhas, Sangha Vishesh Abhas. I will take Krishna consciousness if my happiness will increase. Can you imagine if Krishna consciousness will give the opposite, that people will be miserable? How many people would join? None. I doubt anybody would join. So initial investment is our own motivation. Yes, that is my original position. I want to be more happy. I want to go there. It's nothing wrong. I'm just stating you. So everybody understood what are the five. First is Kala Swarup. Kala Swarup means the Lord Shiva is the Kala Purush. It's a halo. You know the word halo? Is not the original light, but the halo around the light. The halo is Kala Purush Shiva, and from him we get this. Your parents gave you this body. Who gave you subtle body? You have a two body, physical body and subtle body. Your mother, father united together, you got this physical body. But who gave you the subtle body? This is in Brahma Samhita. The Shiva Linga and Joni, when they meet together, this is how the subtle body is born. And this subtle body has these five. Kala Purusha means you are calculative. Then Guna Avatar. Shiva is a Guna Avatar. We also get the contamination of it. Hey, you don't like me or you don't like my child? I'm going to show you. I'm going to beat you up. Where is this idea coming from? Because we are contaminated with this infection of guna, modes of tamogun and rajagun. Did you ever feel like, oh, I'm feeling tired. I don't feel like to go to temple. I'm just going to rest. I don't feel like to do anything. I'm just going to lie down. Did anybody ever feel like this? I did.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. That's called guna, tamogun. It is not you, but you take shelter of tamogun and tamogun say, yeah, just go lie down, rest, watch a movie, you'll have a good time. This is tamogun idea. They influence us. So everybody got it? One is Kala Purush, second is Guna, then third is Sangsad Vishesh Abhas. This is Madhya-lila 20.273. You can read details Prabhupada gives. What it does, that it makes you like, well, I'm helpless, like I can't do anything. Oh, that person can help me. Oh, this person don't like me. I'm going to show him how better I am. He has a Mercedes car. I'm going to buy Lamborghini. Then he will be understanding how good I am. These things, this competitive nature so much, it's always dwelling in us if we are not devotee. Then the fourth is Ahankar Swarup. I already mentioned. Ahankar means I can live for myself. It's a fact. The Karmis, nobody wants to, that in America, even slavery is a bad word. It has a connotation of Abraham bin Lincoln's time. What I'm trying to say, that when you read some article, Srimati Radharani says, my life, I want to be slave of Krishna. She doesn't want anything, just want to be slave. Why? Because she feels Krishna's presence makes her billion times more happy than herself alone. She said, I'll do anything for him, anything that will please him. There's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita. More jodi diya dukha, nagoni apana dukha, sabe banchitara sukha. This is in Madhya-lila Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radharani herself says, Nagani apana dukha, sabe banchitara sukha. Tara sukha mora sukha varja. Even giving me pain, if it makes him happy, I will be so happy. Let him do that. Don't try this in the material world. It never works. You will be miserable. But in spiritual world, it is the highest happiness. So slavery is there. But in the world, material world, we cannot talk about it. Slavery is a bad word in America. because they don't understand. Ultimately, you want to be slave to Krishna because Krishna is so beautiful. You just want him completely. You can't help it. Every atoms in your body want to be with him. This is Krishna. Krishna is so attractive, so beautiful, so lovable, so kind, so merciful. You will say, my life is useless without him. This is fact. It's just the opposite in this idea of Ahankar Sarup. In this idea, it's just the opposite. Hey, Prabhu, why are you working so hard? So I'll have a good retirement. I'll have a better, nice food, nice luxury home. You're talking about yourself. Who you live for yourself. That's how this world is. Everybody living for themselves. This is just the opposite. So that's Prithak Abhiman. These are 5 things. Everybody understood, right? Good. So these 5 things is dormant state when it comes to a point where you are mixing with spiritual life. Spiritual life, when you are serious, it will liberate you. But you still have those little separate existence. My own enjoyment. These things are there in dormant. What do you do with it? It's just opposite. It's just the opposite. Haribol, raise your hand. How many of you want to become pure devotee? Yes, both hand up, not only one, both hand up. You want to be complete surrender to Prabhupada? Yes. You want to be pure devotee by tomorrow? Yes. Would you like to enjoy this girl tomorrow? The hand is like that. No, I don't want anybody to see it, but I want to enjoy. Mind is there, but I want my hand to be at the back. Nobody see me bad. This opposite current. It will be nice if I have a better car. Yeah, why not? But I don't want people devoted to see that I'm looking for a better car. But desire is there. This opposite nature, this is called inner current, outer current. And you'll see many devotees advance. They become even sannyasi, they become even guru or very advanced. Some or other, because due to the offense or did not purify those unfulfilled little desire lingering in the heart, they did not purify it. Guess what happened? It will pull them down because they are in the middle. They are not material world, not spiritual world. They are in this material world in a literary, but in consciously they are in a different level. In that level, they did not purify where they will go. They will come down. Or they can take shelter of a more advanced devotee and do chanting rigidly and get out from that existence. That Krishna will not do. Shiva will not do. You have to do on your own. Prabhupada mentioned this in Mauritius. Guru can be very strong, but Guru sent the rope to the disciple who is in the well. Said, grab it tightly. No, Gurudev, I cannot grab it. You pull me out. Are Baba, I cannot pull you out unless you hold the rope. No, you are strong. Are Baba, yes, Guru is strong, but that doesn't mean anything. We have to hold it. We have to be willing to get out of that position. But immediately we should get to that position where material misery doesn't affect us. A good position, but it's not secure. Not too many devotees goes there, but whoever goes there, sometimes they fall. It's scary. Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to make sure I understand. You have the 5 situations of Shiva, and so you come to this place, and you kind of are like at a liberated state. You're not having the 5 miseries anymore, but sometimes these 5, they will creep in, and there will be this kind of draw to the opposite current. But you have to make sure that you're properly purified and that if you're feeling this opposite current, then you take shelter of more advanced devotee and chant, and eventually you will come out of this Shiva's abode and advance to next stage?
Very good.
Or
Not next stage, you will go into spiritual world.
or
You can
if-
easily you think like this. You can think like this: misconception. My one hand is a misconception. This is a proper conception. Proper conception is I am a servant of Krishna, servant of the servant. Don't go for direct servant. Always be under eternal servant. Be under Prabhupada always, safest position. I want to be servant of the servant. This is proper conception. Misconception is I am for myself. Be honest. Many times you look for your own happiness. Yeah, I don't feel good to eat. I don't care if it is Mahaprasad or not. I don't feel like to eat. I'm not. Prabhu, stay, chant 2 more rounds. No, I feel like to lie down. I'll do what I want to do. I don't have to be told to do. We may not say it, but we feel like this. Be honest. So proper conception, misconception. This is this marginal where this proper conception and misconception meet is that place we are talking of, Shiva's place. This is Shiva Loka. He is the master. Who is Shiva? Arunanayana Prabhu, who is Shiva? Shiva is the master of misconception. The relativity is eternal. Now, how long? Is this permanent? Yes, it is also eternal. I hope you understand all. This misconception and proper conception meeting place where Shiva is also eternal. It's not a temporary, some camping. No, no. It is eternal. Shiva is a person. He has a spiritual connection, also Maya connection. Is his wife. This connection, he has both connection, is eternally. Everybody understand that point? Who is Shiva? Think like this. Shiva means he has a both connection. He always cries sometimes, my Lord, why you bewildered me? In Krishna book, you can read in Banasura story, Shiva pick up a weapon to fight against Krishna. And later on he regrets, why did I do this? To protect my servant, I forgot my master Krishna. Because that separate existence is within him. Krishna gave him that. There's nothing wrong. Krishna gave to him. But for us to understand, to get out, it's our own decision. Okay, I understood. The separate existence, individual purpose, these are all there within me. I don't want. I want Krishna's pleasure, whatever he wants. This thing you have to make decision. So Shiva, a lot of people, especially in India, don't have a proper conception of Shiva. Majority people do not have. Do not have. I'm not like arrogant. I'm saying you from the solid point. Because here I preach amongst a lot of Indians, professors, mostly doctors, and I see that they have a misconception. They do not understand who Shiva is. They have some idea. The relativity is eternal. The conscious relativity of consciousness with misconception, that aspect is known as Rudra. Shiva is eternal flow. It is eternally flowing, this opposite current. Separate enjoyment, also serving. Shiva is the best servant. Shiva is also master of this material misconception world. You follow? He's both. He's the best servant, Vaishnavanam Jata Sambhu. But he is also master of Maya, misconception. Both are there eternally within him. And we are infected, our consciousness, with that. Just like the water, liquidity replaced by solidity. When the water is in a freezing condition, what happened? Liquidity. Anybody knows? What happened to the liquidity of the water in the freezing condition? It's gone? Disappeared forever? No. It is there in a latent position. In English, they call latent, means it's there, but it's not visible. With intelligent people will say, no, the ice cube, yeah, ice has liquidity. You just have to put it in a normal temperature for a little time. It will become. We have love for Krishna, but right now it's solid. Feels like no love for God. But when it is in a Krishna conscious atmosphere, it will grow and melt. Oh my God, I can't live without Krishna. I don't care anything else. He's my everything. You will come to that innate feeling. It is natural at that time. Okay, I think I said enough. Your question was little, but I went on too much.
No, it's okay. Thank you, Prabhu. I need it all. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any reflection, at least one for me? Something, somebody? What are you going to take today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this opposite current, as you say, I mean, we all the time we feel that current, and then that desire will be there till the ahankar is there. That's what my understanding is, Prabhu. That
Very
till
good.
that ahankar is there, this desire will be there. So unless and until through bhakti we get over kam, krodh, lobh, and those anarthas, this opposite current will not go till that melts down, and that can
Very
only
good. But Prabhu, once again, don't say ahankar. You have to say mitta ahankar.
Yeah, mithya ahankar. Yes, Prabhu.
Mitta
Yes.
ahankar.
Yeah,
Because we are servant of Krishna. That is our real ego. Has to stay.
Yeah.
We can never destroy that. Very good. Very good. You understood very good. Everybody understood. Thank you. Vancha kalpataru vesya kipa sindhavaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. So you prepare your assignment, and I'll see if you need help. You can always send me. Say these are the key points, and I can check it, or I can add it, or take it out, whatever, if you allow me. So I'll see you on.
Synopsis means we have to just speak 5-10 minutes. No? That's it. No?
Yes, 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.